Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, respected teachers and my dear colleagues as well as my students. As you know, midterm exams are about to commence. Innumerable queries are being discussed amongst the teachers as well as students ask several questions. In this video of mine, I will be sharing some of those questions and answering them as per my knowledge and experience. The purpose is collaboration so that together we can help improve our students. So the first question of today's video is that can we survive to go for exam, especially the English exam, without preparation? Because the paper is unseen. Now, who has created this image that the paper is unseen and there is no need to prepare? Unfortunately, the students themselves have prepared this concept. Even the parents confess it on parent teacher conferences that their children don't study for English because they think that it's unseen and nothing is to be prepared. My humble and sincere advice is that don't do this mistake because the first thing that you need to do is correction of your misspelled words and of your wrong answers and of those assignments and topics in which you have gained lower marks. You should listen to their videos, not necessarily mine, any other YouTube channel that you come across, any other notes that you have got through your teachers, revise them. Especially paper 1 of 0500 IGCSE is very challenging. Reading of inserts, especially text C and 1123 inserts through my book and even through past papers will help you develop an understanding of the kind of language that the examiners use in their comprehension inserts so that you will be able to answer them. You know that Cambridge demands accurate spellings, they demand accurate meanings according to the context. So, my dear student, preparation is mandatory. The second question is what if the candidate writes excessively short or long response to a narrative piece? Many students and teachers ask this question. It's a very pertinent question. The answer to this is very clear and logical that the more you write, the more chances are there of making more mistakes. So, the worst penalty that you create and that you gain by overwriting or by exceeding the word limit is self penalty. No one is going to be punished except the candidate himself. So, remain within the word limit, especially those students whose handwriting speed is slow, especially those students whose handwriting is not up to the mark, and especially those students whose linguistic abilities are weak. My advice is that remain within the box of word limit. Spare time for reading of the question. Spare time for proofreading of the answer. Spare time for planning of the answer. It's not just the task of writing and writing and writing. If you will be aware of the assessment objectives, very easily you can understand what I am trying to say because there are some questions which have writing assessment objectives, others have reading, and directed writing has both. So there is no need to just write. The important thing is that even for narrative, you should be planning. I will be talking about it in my next question. That what is the role of planning in a narrative essay? And what will be the penalty for exceeding? Because you did not spare time for proofreading, you lost the time for the other question. If you attempted directed writing first, then obviously you would have done it in a hurry because you were worried for the narrative essay. So, if you would have practiced to write within the time slot, within the word limit, my dear students, this will help you gain better grade and make less mistakes as well. The third question is should the students go for narrative essay or descriptive essay? Many students ask this question also. As long as you are taking your school exams, you should be well prepared for both types of essays. But when you enter in your mock exams or when you enter in your CAIs, there is no need of experimentation. Both types of essays have their distinct qualities. Some of them are similar, some of them are dissimilar. Narrative alone is nothing. Narrative should have features of description at least 20% so that you can gain a better grade in even in the narrative essay. So you should learn descriptive essay, but if you are weak in English, your language abilities are not strong, then you should write a narrative essay. And even if you are a good storyteller, you can make plots. But there are some students whose plotting ability is very weak, then they should go for the descriptive essay. But then they should have ample vocabulary. Their adjectives should be very strong. They should be familiar with figures of speech. Their vocabulary should also be high. Only then they can justify with the essence of descriptive essay. And remember, narrative essays are mostly written in the past tense and descriptive essays are mostly written in the present tense. The fourth question, what's the penalty for illegible handwriting? Again, the answer is self penalty. Obviously, you wrote things in hurry. It's just like that you are making a presentation of yourself in front of the guests who are visiting you after 3 years. Obviously, you will be well dressed. You will try to talk in a very decent way. You will try to serve them with excellent snacks and all eatables. In the same way, my dear student, you are making a presentation of yourself, of your parents, of your teachers, of your own efforts to Cambridge after 3 consistent years of practice. Then why do write in illegible way? There are certain words which are becoming spelling errors because of illegibility. Illegibility means something that is not readable to me. Obviously, you will not be there in the examination hall to guide the examiner that this is E or this is double L or this is single L. Majority of the examiners think that the students are dodging and they don't like this overwriting and cutting. Even if you have written a misspelled word, cross through that word, making brackets around that, putting small crosses at the start and the end so that there is clear cutting of that word. Not that you start scrolling so many lines over that word. Rather, it should be neatly and properly cut. So, my dear student, please pay heed to your handwriting even during school exams and even during class practice so that by the time you appear in your CIEs, you have ample practice and you can create a good impression of yourself. So, the next question is planning a wastage of time or helps save time? Many students ask this question. They think that if they will start doing planning on the neat paper, it will be a wastage of time. My dear students, the purpose of planning is to give direction to your essay. Once you would have done the planning, you will remain on the track. You should at least know the ending of your story at the time of beginning because that is the best quality of a narrative essay. And if you are going to change your story and the events in the middle of writing, that is not a reasonable way. So, planning is basically something which is going to save your time instead of going to waste your time. So please plan, and even if you think that you can just make a word web or you can draw a figure like that of a mountain when you are writing a narrative essay. In my video of narrative essay, I have explained that in another video of mine in which I shared a sample essay written by the student in the Cambridge exam, checked by the Cambridge exams, checked by the Cambridge examiners, the student has done planning even on the neat paper. So please don't ignore planning. So the last question of today's video is that what's the formula of time management in paper 1, especially in IGCSE 0500, because as far as paper 1 of 1123 is concerned, there is no worry of time management because there are two questions and there are 2 hours, whereas in IGCSE 0500 paper 1, there are 5 questions to be attempted in paper 1 in the current syllabus. And what are those questions? Text A 15 marks, text B 15 marks, a short vocabulary question 10 marks, language analysis 15 marks, and then extended writing 25 marks. Now, the formula is as many marks as much time. Now, it is very difficult to achieve that. For example, if you are going to spend around 20 minutes on text A, 5 minutes extra I am giving, and 20 minutes on summary writing, then you would have 10 minutes for the vocabulary question, and this will consume 50 minutes of yours. And then you would have 1 hour and 10 minutes for the lengthy questions of extended writing and language analysis. They are not only lengthy, they are also technical because they require you to read challenging text C. So you should have ample time, around 35 minutes for extended writing and around 30 minutes for 2D. So if you will plan, if you will do your practice of papers according to this time management plan which I have shared, I'm sure you are able to do your paper completely in the time allotted by the examiner. I will be waiting and looking forward to more questions from your side. You can write them in the comment box and I would love to answer them in my next video. With lots of prayers and best wishes for your coming exams. Stay blessed. Allah